Hi everyone, in today's short video about Lupo 3L I will show you strange, very strange fault of the Lupo, and it is about catalytic converter. This car was driven only on the regular diesel fuel. No modifications were done on this car. It has around 230,000 kilometers really on odometer. It's real, and the car still consumed a little bit more fuel, around 3.7 liters in the best conditions in summer. On the probably middle long trips, around 30 kilometers. The driver was relatively slow. He held the speed limits and did not accelerate it too much, but I'm absolutely not sure now if this could added some cause, or this could even partially cause this catalytic converter fault. So car came to me when it already still went to the limp mode, but not in the load, in the high power, but only when you drove very economically on the low RPMs and very not slow but low RPMs and quiet driving. So after checking all these measurements, after replacing this N to 255 valve and 255 valve, I decided to put the vacuum straight into the only to this valve. I also checked all the pipings, vacuum, and for the first time I thought that this is clogged. This is a non-return valve for the vacuum, and my first impression from this was that this could some kind of be clogged. So I have replaced it, and for a few hundred kilometers of normal standard driving, not slow, not fast, medium range RPMs, there was no fault at all during probably few hundred kilometers. In every condition, everything seems to be solved. So I was pretty lucky. But after a while, I absolutely don't know what it caused. Probably you will make some comment, or you will be able to tell me what it used to be, but this happened on the Lupo 3L absolutely for the first time. And finally the car did not want to go only even uphill, so I drove uphill for the first gear with absolutely not limited power, but no power at all, only first gear. And up on the hill the car started to smoke black, because I drove on 2000 RPMs, and thick black smoke, which never happened on this car and on Lupo at all. So I looked under the hood, and I could actually feel on my face that this exhaust pipe and turbocharger is absolutely completely overheated. Also, the first catalytic converter, even the color of this metal was different. Not red, it was not red hot, but it was very close to that. And when I disconnected this, checked the intake manifold flap and other stuff, I removed this hose out and tried to look at the air intake. After disconnection, nothing happened. Still, it was very, very rough, and a good mark of, or very good indicator of this fault was that there was a strange sound, not as usually regular diesel intake sound, not quiet, not loud, but this was very, very loud, and it was pretty strange for me. Only idle was possible. I was able to start the car after a few revolutions of the crank. But I could, up on the hill, right in there somewhere, I could not even reverse, go 1 meter at the reverse on the narrow surface. So I must push the car and went back right in here. After this, I focused on the whole exhaust system. So I released this bolt. Look at the turbocharger. Turbocharger looks pretty good. Just because a few years ago I was cleaning this turbocharger, and for a few years the turbocharger works. But it was very, very strange that all the exhaust was hot, like probably 400 degrees Celsius. All the catalytic converter all down there. Then I used my thermal camera smartphone to check where exactly are the hot spots. So definitely turbocharger itself was not that hot. Maximum heat was accumulated in the first catalytic converter, and it continued approximately the same temperature, continued down up to the first catalytic converter. Probably I will post or I will cut here or insert here some thermal photos, and this is first catalytic converter, and engine is from this direction. This is exhaust. So the heat was accumulated right in here. Then somewhere around here was relatively colder area, and also from circa from here up to end of the exhaust pipe, the temperature was very low. Not very low, but much lower. Half of that temperature which was accumulated in this beginning part. So my focus was on the currently state of the catalytic converter, and you can see that it is completely blocked with some kind of carbon deposits. I absolutely don't know what it is. For the first look, it looked like a wet surface, which would show some problems with the oil in the exhaust. But when I touched it, I can actually scrub this, and it is almost 3 millimeters thick layer of the dry powder carbon. So this dry powder carbon absolutely completely blocked the exhaust, and the engine worked almost like the compressor. I don't know the exact pressure which this held, but my estimation is that the 15 bar or maybe close to 20 bars was there, if not more. So I will go slightly back to this, and that strange noise which I heard in the intake was simply that the overpressure just in front of the turbocharger, which is where the EGR cooler and EGR piping is connected. So this pressure overforced, or yes, overforced probably, don't know exact English term, sorry, partially opened the EGR, and there was some kind of circulation from the exhaust into the intake, uncontrolled by unit, and this probably caused very thick black smoke, just because there was not enough air to burn even on the idle, to burn all the fuel even on idle speed. So problem is solved now. I simply cut out this catalytic converter. Probably it is possible to flush it some kind of out, but I don't want to risk it, just because on the Lupo 3L it is not possible to take out both catalytic converters out from the car without removing all the front axles, front suspension and front this. So I must cut it, and I used some older catalytic converter in the good condition. I cannot now. I already cannot show you that there is regular catalytic converter inside, but you must believe me that there it is, just because you can hear. So my welding is not pretty nice, but I cleaned it before, and in this very limited space and these conditions it was not even possible to make better welding, or I'm not that skilled in welding. So I checked it if there is some leak, that there is not. I looked at it very close, and it is very bad, just because you even cannot take this out anyway. Absolutely, there is absolutely no way how to take exhaust without cutting it and welding it. So it is not the ideal solution, but I hope it will help, and car will drive. I absolutely recommend everybody who drives this Lupo in the economic style, so some kind of hypermilers, or like me sometimes, that it is probably necessary to periodically heat the engine up almost 30 or 50 kilometers, and then just flush all the exhaust with the hot exhaust gases by driving on the maximum power. So you must find ideal German highway, which is uphill, and make some 20 kilometers on the maximum power, and you will notice that in one moment, especially in the summer, in the hot conditions, you will recognize in one moment that it will be thick, heavy black smoke just behind the car. I watched this phenomenon on more 3L Lupos, and it must be actually the burning process of the carbon in the especially in the second catalytic converter, which accumulates in it with time and causes higher consumption. Even low, a little bit higher, but still higher, about half of the liter. So, absolutely recommend everybody to do this, to burn it through each and every 1000 kilometers. Even more is better. Don't drive Lupo still slowly and still economically, just because this can cause. This is similar process as a DPF or a selective catalytic, not SCR, but DPF particle filter, but it is not particle filter at all, but its function is very similar on this car, accidentally, not intentionally. So it is a little bit problem, and you will just drive it 100 kilometers on full throttle on the German highway with no speed limits in safe conditions. Don't do it in traffic, please. Don't do it in traffic. It is not safe, not good. So, what to say on the final? Yes, I recognized on more Lupos in the past that this process, this burning of the exhaust or burning of the carbon, causes immediately 1 liter lower fuel consumption. Immediately after the black smoke rises from the exhaust, it took some few seconds or few dozens of seconds, and after this the fuel consumption immediately drops around 1 liter lower. So probably if you have higher fuel consumption and everything, engine is in good condition, injectors are in good condition, good sealing, everything is okay, like it used to be on the 1.2 liter TDI engine. So try to focus on it. Don't cut it. Definitely don't do this like I did, because this is stainless steel, and by cutting it and welding it with ordinary CO2, inert gas or active gas, so you will make it corrosive, but this is pretty thick layer and thick layer of the metal sheet right in here, so don't be afraid about the corrosion at all. Not perfect, but not absolutely bad. So now I will put a new clamp right there, and probably I will try to make some drive. Okay, this is all for today. Hope it will help you, and see you tomorrow, or see you not tomorrow but next time. Keep driving your 3Ls, keep maintaining these special cars, just because it is worth it. And you can leave your opinion, your comment in the comment section. If you know something better than me, just because I don't know everything exactly. I'm not pretty sure about everything, but it is most likely. So See you next time.